Welcome to the Shellonomics Podcast, your source for pure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles entertainment, presented by King Mictus.
Okay, guys, another episode of Shellonomics. So shockingly, this is actually my favorite season of the 4Kids series, Season 4. We talked about it last time we had Christian on for Turtle Talk of the 4Kids series. We get a new theme song, Shredder is Gone. And that is the reason why I like this season. It's just so much freshness here. It's almost like how you were saying before, this show pays a lot of homage to the comic, and in the original comic, Shredder dies after the first issue. So you get to see a whole bunch of fresh takes and fresh stories. So Christian, how did you like Season 4 as a whole?
Oh, you really get the feeling like after it started with Season 3 for me, that they really got the groove. They really know what they were doing. They're like, okay, we can try some stuff that would be a little bit more darker, some darker, grittier stuff, like, as you said, characters dying and so on and so forth. And they even, as you said, at the end of Season 3, the Shredder was actually defeated. He was gone. The big bad Shredder is gone for now. And so Season 4 is really the start work. What's now? Where are the turtles now? And Season 3, Season 4, these are the seasons where I really get the feeling like, okay, we're getting darker, we're getting more serious. I mean, it's still fun in there. So I really gotta say, I cannot decide. I mean, as I said before, I'm a big fan of the whole series. Yes, even the later seasons, I like everything about it. But Season 3 and Season 4, I gotta say, I think they are. If you think about it story-wise, they are the best, because as I said, they really try to get more. We can try to be a little more gritty. We can try to do darker stuff, and that's where I'm at. That's the stuff I like. Like, okay, the stakes are higher. It's getting darker. So yeah, I guess you can just say I'm a fan of Season 4.
Yeah,
I guess you can break it down to this.
Oh gosh, I can't wait to share just how deep of the character development. This is what turned me into a Leonardo fan. Is this series right, or this season specifically?
Ooh.
Just he became darker, and just I can't wait to break these episodes down. So we're gonna get started here. We got another about 26 episodes here, guys. So let's start with Cousin Sid.
Yeah, as I said, the last episode, the end of Season 3, the turtles barely were able to defeat the Shredder, and now we see that they went to the farmhouse in Northampton to relax a little bit, because they're really beaten up. Like, Mikey got 2 broken legs and so on and so forth. So just to relax a little bit. And during all this, Casey's cousin Sid comes in because he's got some problems with the purple dragons. So purple dragons are now even around Northampton. They are expanding their business, and because they're looking for some kind of treasure. And the turtles and Casey try to stop them, and the turtles, like all ninja-like, I mean, they really have their problems because they're not in their best form currently, but they're really able to beat up these guys and save the day in the end. And yeah, this episode is actually like another adaptation of a comic. It's from Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 1, Number 1. And it's, in my opinion, a really good adaptation of the whole story. Like, it fits into the continuity of the 4Kids series, but it stays true to the original material. And yeah, a fun little start where we know where we are right now. And as you said, with the whole thing with Leonardo, it's the start of the what should we call it? The brooding Leonardo saga, because Leo, he's really serious, he's really dark, and he's got some kind of problem that we're gonna find out more about as the season goes on. And yeah, it's a stark contrast to the usual Leonardo that we know.
It's almost like we can call him Batman. He reminds me so much of Batman. Just the voice actor does such a good job too. I mean, his voice totally changed. It's not as like high pitched in the other seasons. It's just it's fantastic. And we're gonna go right into the next one here, guys, in The People's Choice.
Yeah. I mean, this and the next few are like one-shot episodes, because the turtles are still in Northampton, and they're just trying to chill and relax and to to get healthy again.
Right.
And during all this, they meet this alien lady, Jana, who is in a battle to the death with another lady called Moria, if I remember correctly. And because she wants to be the new leader of their planet, and Moria is the current leader, so they have to fight. And the turtles, they get like classic turtle stuff. They get thrown into the story. They fall into this other story, and they take part in it, and they have to fight some monsters there and help Jana. And well, in the end, they are able to help her, and Jana becomes the new leader of their planet for a more peaceful new future for their planet. And once again, this is an straight up adaptation of a comic book from the original Mirage Comics run. And once again, a pretty good one at that.
Yeah, like you said earlier too, Christian, is just even these episodes where they're still not filler, right? Because it's still part of the continuing story, and that's what I like. Just little by little, they're taking a break, nothing too extreme. You know what I mean? Just like you say, kind of licking their wounds, so to speak, here, and just. I can't thank this show enough just for doing this for us, just for Turtle fans, to give us something new and fresh. And how did you like the theme song too? I know I touched about that, but the shredded shredder. Did you like that spot in the theme song now when you first heard it?
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah. That was a big surprise back then that they changed the theme song a little bit, and it's great that they did. Like they adapt to the new environment that turtles are in. It's so funny because we are so used to like watch out for Shredder, and now suddenly it's Mikey with a Shredder helmet. We shredded Shredder, and yeah, it's gonna change again later on, but. I like it when they do this. They did this with the 2012 show sometimes, and I'm a big fan of stuff like this when they like change the theme song to fit the current storylines. That's really like an extra piece of special care that I really like and I really respect.
Yep, nope, same here at all. And then we're gonna go to the next one right here, Sons of the Silent Age.
Yeah, turtles still getting back to, as you said, I really like this because the turtles are not like, okay, we got beaten up by the shredder, next episode we are cool again. No, they take some time, and this is really good that we show them like getting back to their old selves. And well, in this story, which once again is an adaptation of a comic book, the turtles meet some fish people. And I gotta say, Sons of the Silent Age, the original comic book, is one fantastic story that I gotta say is maybe one of my favorite stories ever in the TMNT comics, because it's so, well, how should I put it? So depressing, because in the like here we meet like these fish people, and there's only one female fish lady, and well, she dies, and there are four fish men, and like it's, how should I put it? It's like the turtles looking at themselves. They are the only ones in this world. They are the only four male turtles in this world, and it will all end with them. Their bloodline will end with them. And this is like, well, it blows my mind. So, oh, this is so dark. I mean, in this story, in the four kids story here in the episode, it gets more of an upbeat ending, because in the end we find out that there are some eggs, some eggs, some fishman eggs, and that this race will live on. The turtles help them to, well, live on, and so it's more of an upbeat, happy ending than the original story was. And once again, as I think I said it in the last episode, last season, when there was the episode with the Olympians, and we saw like a flashback, and they like created some creatures to help them, and one of them were the fish people that we meet now in this story. So even though the Olympians story is actually over, we still get some stuff like spun off from this storyline. Like, okay, like some I gotta say plot holes, I don't know, get filled in later on. And this is one of the reasons why this whole show is so great, because even like 1 or 2 seasons later, we still get callbacks to older stories and fill in some story elements. And yeah, it's really good.
You know what's great about this show too is you never feel like it's dragging. You know, I love my Fred Wolf series, but there's just a few episodes I watch now, and it's like, oh man, it's still going. You know, like this, like just keeps you glued. You don't look at your phone, you don't look at your email. You're just glued to find out what happens next, and this is why this series is so good. And now we get one of my favorites here. This is one of the cooler episodes of the season, in my opinion. Dragon's Brew.
Yeah, this is a very special episode because the only turtle who appears in this episode is Leonardo. The other turtles are not in it. It's a Leonardo and Casey Jones story, as they try to stop like some attacks and robberies from the purple dragons that are now under Han's leadership. Like Han really took over the whole thing after Shredder is gone. It's like, okay, I'm now doing my own business, and they're getting more serious, the Purple Dragons, not just like a little gang, but they're like into like all these robberies and so on and so forth. And here we get like into a conflict with the Purple Dragons and Leonardo and Casey, as they try to steal some stuff, and some of this stuff includes stuff that actually belongs to Ancient Bishop. And during all this, like some kind of mutated creature mutation experiment by Bishop escapes. And this is getting so serious, because we find out through flashbacks that this creature was a friend of Bishop that he experimented on. Like, he betrayed him, experimented on him. And I mean, if you remember, there's one scene in there that's really, I guess I will never forget. There's one scene in there where, like, this creature, this monster, gets shot up, and it's like it almost breaks in half. You see, like, the intestines almost falling out, and like, dude, is this still a kids show that we're watching here?
Right.
And that's what I mean when I say it's getting more dark. It's really trying to push the show to the limit, what it can do. And this, like, the story with like the backstory, this tragic backstory of this creature and the action in there. It's really, I mean, it's not like there's blood everywhere or anything, but it's some sceneries are like, whoa, this is, I don't know if I would show this to my kids right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we
It's
asked
getting
earlier.
dark,
Yeah, and we talked about that in a previous podcast episode here on Spotify and YouTube. You're like, well, Mike, some yes, some you might have to wait a little bit till you're older. Those don't exist until you reach of age. So, not exactly. Just another great episode. I really like the Leonardo Casey Jones. Again, this show just gives us such fresh material. You know, it always doesn't have to be Raph and Casey and Raph. You know what I mean? I love it. Yeah. And now we go into the next one, I Monster.
Yeah, if you know your Turtle comics, you know I Monster was the introduction of the Red King in the TMNT comics, in the original Mirage stories. And, well, here we meet the Red King, but in this continuity, we already met him in the last season, because in last season we saw this experiment of Bishop, which was the Slayer, and now we find out what happened to him. He was flushed out, like near this old factory building, and he doesn't remember what is he, who is he. He only gets like some flashbacks here and there of his past, and the turtles run into him, and, well, he turns into this universe's Red King. And once again, the action in this episode is so great. Like, all the acrobatics that the Red King is doing, and the whole thing with all these rats, like, attacking the turtles and so on and so forth. And it's doing its own thing with the story from the comics, but it's doing it so well to once again fit into this world. It's, yeah, really cool. And honestly, I would have loved to see more of this Red King. Unfortunately, we don't see that much of him, but this episode alone is really great.
Now, is this one you let your kid watch? I mean, it's kind of like Disney scare. It's like Nightmare Before Christmas territory here, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the Red King looks a little bit scary, but it doesn't get too gruesome.
Right, exactly. No, this was another good one. But here comes probably my favorite, just because I've always been a Michelangelo guy, and we get more of this story like you've been hyping up every single time we do an episode for the 2003 series. More continuation. Here we go with Grudge Match. I had chills watching this one for the first time.
Yeah, this is really great because we get a callback. As we remember, Michelangelo is the current Battle Nexus champion because he defeated Kla at the end of season 2. But Kla comes back because Mikey defeated him by accident during all this craziness with Draco and Ultimate Ninja. He knocked him out by accident, and now Kla comes back and is like, I don't think that you are really the champion. I'm gonna challenge you, and that's totally fine with the Battle Nexus rules. So Mikey now has to fight him for real, and he goes to Leonardo for some advice, and they train together. And then they have the fight, and during all this, like as we remember in the Battle Nexus fights, no one really got killed or anything, because every time there was like a fatal blow, the enemy got zapped away and everything's fine. But here, the father of Kla uses some dark magic so that these rules don't apply, and they have to fight to the death. And well, even though at first Mikey gets beaten up, but then he pulls up his host rank and he shows that he is worthy to be the Battle Nexus champion, and he is really for now able to defeat Kla. And this is why I really like when they do this with Michelangelo. Yeah, Michelangelo is goofy, Michelangelo fools around, but when he gets serious, he can get serious. He is really one of the best when he puts his head to. And if he wouldn't be such a goofball, who knows what he would be able to do. And yeah, for this, just for Mikey episode, this is really a great Mikey episode.
Yeah. How'd you like the chemistry with Mike and Leo in this one too? Again, we got Grim Leo and Mike's asking him for help.
Yeah, I really like this. That Leo was really there. Okay, I'm gonna help you, but you gotta be serious. And this, I really like this because this is like a constellation that we don't see that often. We don't see Mikey and Leo interacting that often in such a way. It's more like Mikey, Donnie, Mikey, Rev. But Mikey, Leo, to see Mikey and Leo together is something unusual, and it's really appreciated. And it's like you really get the siblings here. Like, yeah, I'm like a big brother. I'm gonna help you, but you gotta take it serious. And I really like it. It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah, and a fantastic payoff at the end of this one too. Just one of my favorite episodes, probably the favorite of season 4. And then we go into the next one, A Wing and a Prayer.
Well, in this episode, the turtles run into some other creatures, the avians, which are like these angel-like creatures, once again created by the Olympians. And one of them is a raptor, which was very interesting that raptor was appeared in this show because just like 3 years before this episode, he had his debut in the Mirage comics in volume 4. So he was a really new character back then, but they adapted him into the show, which I really liked. And the turtles help him to fight off an evil avian called Amoebas. And well, the turtles, they got some wingsuits where they can fly around, which once again gave us some really cool action scenes where they had this flying suits. Of which I actually have the action figures, because there were action figures of these suits, which were really cool. And yeah, they are able to defeat this evil Mephis guy in the end so that the avians can live in peace in their sky city and everything's cool again.
You make a great point there too about the toys here. You know, we all grew up with the retro toys in the '80s and Playmates, but 2003. Can you say their toy line is actually, I guess, underrated because nobody really talks about that line?
Actually, yes, because the toy line was really good. We had some really cool action figures back then, and we even got a lot of them. But it's like nowadays, not a lot of people talk about them, and it's kind of unfair because they had some really cool action figures. I mean, if you just look at the turtles, they had like moving fingers and moving toes that the retro action turtles from 90s and 80s didn't have. So they really put some care into them, and they should be appreciated more. Yeah.
I agree, and especially like the armored Shredder toy. I thought that one was pretty cool because you could take his helmet off, and it wasn't a mutation turtle. It was just so simple to just plop his helmet off. Yeah, that is a good toy line there. So hopefully, and again, guys, we're gonna plug Christian's channel later. But again, he does do a lot of toy talk on his podcast. So I'm telling you, you got to stop by his channel. So as we go into our next one here, my friend, we are in Bad Day.
Oh, that's once again a dark episode. Well, to make it short, the turtles they get attacked by pretty much everyone. This is like suddenly there's like a flood in the sewers. Clunk apparently drowns. Then the turtles get attacked by, as I said, pretty much everyone, like the Foot Clan, Bishop, everyone is there. Seemingly April and Casey gets taken out, and it's like a nightmare. Like, and suddenly all these bad guys appear and they surround the turtles, and it's really a crazy episode where the whole time you think, what is going on? This is something is definitely not right here. And it turns out, something is definitely not right here, because this is not a physical attack, it's an attack on the psychological level. Like Karai, who is now the leader of the Foot Clan, and she's really pissed at the turtles for taking out the Shredder, wants to get revenge on them, and this is like her first attack. She uses the Foot Mystics that we haven't seen since season 1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they were attacking like this through this vision, like a dream vision, like showing them the worst version of a day they could have, and like to weaken the turtles. But Splinter and the turtles, they found out that something was wrong, and they were able to fight this vision and fight off the mystics for now. But Kara is like, okay, that was our first try, let's try something different next time. But for now, everything's back to normal. It was not real, fortunately. Everyone is still alive. But what an episode. Crazy stuff.
Gosh, I mean, just again, that's why I mean, this whole season is just so cool because it's just fresh stuff. You don't see this anywhere else. Like you said earlier, some of them do pay tribute to the comics, but for like a lot of us OG fans, it's just a real nice treat. And now we go into the guy, I believe you wanted this gentleman as a NECA. If you guys listen to that episode, our 10 most wanted NECA toys here, one of Christian's favorite characters makes an appearance here in Aliens Among Us.
Oh yeah, and that one is Bishop. Agent Bishop is back. And I mean, the whole episode starts kind of funny because Agent Bishop and the Earth Protection Force, they need money. They need funding. And because the president doesn't really think that there's like an alien or mutant threat out there. So what does Bishop do with the help of Baxter Stockman? He creates an alien invasion. Like he creates some alien dummies that just pop when they get attacked, and they like turn into slime, and some spaceships are there, and it's crazy, and the turtles are in the middle of this, like, okay, an alien invasion once again. We just had that last season, but yeah, it's just it's not a real invasion. It's all just made by Bishop and Baxter Stockman. So the turtles try to sort of fight it off to get to the source of this whole thing, and they fight these fake aliens. And well, but in the end, actually, Bishop wins, you gotta say, because the president sees like, oh, they're aliens, and okay, you get all the funding you need to fight off these aliens and these monsters, and well, Bishop gets what he wants in the end. But this whole groove from the alien invasion will come back to haunt them later. So once again, like little foreshadowing, like, okay, the story is not really over now, but we're getting there.
Yeah, just a step in the right direction. And again, you gotta. I really enjoy Bishop. Bishop kind of. I don't know who the voice actor is, but he reminds me of Cable, just like his attitude. If you remember Cable from the X-Men, the animated series,
Yeah.
just like he kind of reminds me of him a little bit like that. So just wanted to throw that little notion in there. And now here we go again with. I don't know. Did I ever ask you what your thoughts are of Hun? Because he is a new character for this show only, right? I don't think he was in comics.
Not yet. No.
Okay.
That's a funny thing. Like they reverse engineered him. He had his debut in this show. He was created for a 2003 show, and they later adapted him into the Mirage comics. And it's really unusual. It was really unusual because, well, the Mirage guys really liked him. And I gotta say, if you remember Han at the start of the show, he was like this big brute, and he was just Shredder's right hand man to beat up others. But he got more and more interesting, more and more character development. Like he had the Purple Dragons. He was the leader of the Purple Dragons. He was loyal to the Shredder. And now here we see in this season, like after everything that went down, he doesn't care about the Shredder anymore, as he found out that Shredder is an alien. It's like, no, Shredder's now gone. I'm doing my own thing. And that's what he do. So I really like Han. For all the development he got. He was just a big brute, but he got more and more interesting as the show went on.
It's kind of like how Bebop and Rocksteady should have been in our TV series. Just a big brute that still had the intelligence to know what he was doing and could possibly, and always have a good, just at least a chance to beat the Turtles. And it's kind of like Harley Quinn then, right? Because wasn't Harley Quinn inspired from Batman, the animated series, and she got popular? So once again, this show just shines. So just really, really cool there. And I'm glad they have Han. I mean, Tatsu could have been cool in here, because the Foot Clan needed somebody, and even though he was a fresh character from the movie, but I really enjoy Han. And that's what we're going to get into here with Dragons Rising.
Yeah, because once again, the Turtles are like caught up in this battle with the Purple Dragons, who like got all this tech stuff, all these tech weapons, and they became a real threat here, and they're stealing they're stealing stuff. And in this episode we get more of the background that's going on, but that happened, the stuff that happened between Han and Casey Jones, like Han, who attacked Casey's father's home, and apparently it was not spelled out, but apparently he was the one responsible for his father's death. And so, like, Casey really got a grudge with Han, and he wants to really take care of him once and for all. But like in the last moment, he remembers that his father was not like this. He would not like Casey to be this and to really kill Han, and so he does not do it, like giving the final punch. But the Purple Dragons, the Turtles, are able to stop the robbery. So actually, that works out once again. And but once again, we get real good Leo moments in here when he's like in the end, like, okay, we defeated them, and Leo's like, did we really? They got away. We could have stopped them. And once and for all, like all this drooling Leo thing, like, but now we know that it's really like Leo got this because at the end of last season, when they were able to defeat Shredder, they barely escaped with their lives. And this was like Leo, like, we are not good enough. We should get better, because next time one big bad comes up, maybe he will really defeat us if we're not getting better. And he thinks about this himself, like he is not good enough. And that's why he's so brooding and so, yeah, so like the way he is in this season. And yeah, that's, as I said, that's really an interesting take on Leonardo that we don't get that often.
No, it's more Raphael dealing with personal stuff, and that's why even Raphael speaks his piece once in a while too, which is just we really can't say anything bad about this show. It's really, I mean, I even try sometimes to pick something, and I really can't find anything bad. It's just almost like a perfection show. It's pretty much perfect. And now we get another one of your friends here with still nobody.
Yeah, where we get the return of nobody from last season. And once again, he asked for the help of the turtles because there's a new gang in town called the Turks. And like they also got their hands on some weapon deals and so on and so forth. And the turtles have to help him. And well, in the end, they're able to do so. And there's one very interesting scene at the end where Han and Karai meet because they haven't spoken to each other after the whole thing with the Shredder last season. But they meet and Han's like, "Did you know that Shredder was like an alien slug?" And she was like, "Yeah, but it didn't matter. I was still loyal." And Han's like, "Nope, I don't care about all this anymore." And Karai is like, "Yep, I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna get my revenge from my master." And they have a really interesting conversation there. And yeah, but the whole thing with nobody is once again really cool, really nice little story. Yeah.
Yep. No, again, just can't say anything bad. And we go to the next. Now, here's one we didn't get. I kind of maybe we did with April Foolish and stuff, but I kind of like this Halloween episode here with All Hallows Thieves. How'd you like this one?
Oh, great! It's once again, it's an adaptation of a comic book, and once again, a really good one at that. Where the turtles meet the king of the thieves, this big thief guy who steals this statue, and that brings forth some crazy creatures. And as you said, it's Halloween, so like these little imps and gremlins come out, and turtles attack the turtles. And in the end, we get this: the statue actually comes to life and becomes like this giant four-armed creature. And the turtles have to defeat him, which once again gets some really cool action scenes. And the whole Halloween vibe that we get from this episode is really great. It's as we got in the original cartoon show, we got like the episode Super Irma, which took place on Halloween, but it did not really feel like a Halloween episode. But here we got like monsters and creatures and stuff like this and mysticism. And for this, it's a great Halloween episode, which, if I see correctly, which really came out around Halloween. It came out on October 29th, 2005.
Yes.
So perfect timing, I gotta say.
Yeah, exactly. And isn't it crazy that this show? I mean, the show is over 20 years old, but this just happened 20 years ago, and I do like the 2012 series. I hope we get to deep dive into that someday. But this one it's going to be really hard for a Ninja Turtle show to ever top this series. It's going to be really, really hard. Especially because now we get a shout out in this one, which anybody, I think you can agree, right? Anybody who enjoyed the Fred Wolf Turtles and you have never seen a 2003 episode, I know there's good action, but if you want that 1987's kind of comedy feel, wouldn't you recommend Samurai Tourist?
Oh, definitely. Well, because Usagi and his rhino friend Jin come around come to the turtles world now, and the turtles like take them on a tour, and it's really funny because like they come from this ancient world, this samurai world, and now they're suddenly in a modern world. They are fascinated just by the lights and the big city and everything. And we got this one moment that's just too good when Jin, who's this rhino, like takes some clothes from a guy because, hey, I like your clothes, and he turns into Rocksteady. He looks just like Rocksteady from the classic cartoon, which is such a nice little Easter egg. And the whole story, on the other hand, is that an other character, like this assassin, comes to this world, who is like this like warthog creature. And well, which is nice, gotta say, a little callback, little Easter egg callback to Bebop. So we got Rocksteady, we got Bebop, kind of. And well, there's a once again big fight. Leonardo and Usagi fighting together, which is just great. And I really like it because at the end of the episode, we find out that Splinter was actually the one who called Usagi to help Leonardo. Like, hey, can you like take care of Leonardo for a bit, because I don't like the way he's walking right now. Like, as a friend, talk to him. And Usagi really tries, like, hey, there are some things in life that we cannot change. We can learn from them, but some things just happen. Bad things happen. And but still Leonardo's like, thanks, Usagi, but I know what I'm doing. So it's not really working the way Splinter intended it to be. But still, great to see Usagi again, and in a fun episode. Yeah.
I had so much fun watching this. I said, "Oh my god, are they really doing this?" That's pretty much the words that I first. Because my friend told me about it. Was like, "Yeah, do you remember that time that Rocksteady was in?" I'm like, no, I don't. I've never seen it. And he showed me it on a YouTube video, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" And Casey Jones is involved in it. Yeah, such a fantastic watch. And now we go from laughing to, again, this show just kills it with getting your emotions. What was the term you used to use? The feels, I think, was the one we always say back then. The feels.
Yeah.
And the feels come in heavy in this one right here, in the ancient one.
Yeah, because the episode starts with Leonardo training with Splinter. And once again, he's like, you showed me these moves over and over again. I need something new. Give me something new. And he gets angry and even hurts Splinter during the training. And Splinter, this is really interesting, because Splinter is not like, how dare you attack me? He's like, I understand it. I cannot teach you more. You need a new teacher. So he sends Leonardo to Japan to find the Ancient One, who was the teacher of Hamato Yoshi. And so he goes to Japan, has some fun little adventures there, and meets like this little chubby guy who, well, farts a lot.
Yeah.
And well, he even fights like some yetis and some ghosts and stuff like this. And finally, at the end, when he's, if I remember correctly, he's fighting the stone creature, and he cannot hurt it. How it doesn't matter how much he puts into it, how hard he fights, he cannot hurt the stone creature, until he finally realizes that, like, okay, there are some things that I cannot defeat, some things that I just have to accept. And this is finally the moment that Leonardo's mind goes click, and he's like, okay, I understand it now. And he turns to the little chubby guy and says, thank you, Ancient One. And it turns out he is this one that he traveled with. The little guy is actually the Ancient One, Hamato Yoshi's master. And yeah, he's now ready to train Leonardo in new ways. Great, just great.
It's a great lesson for all acceptance, because yeah, Leonardo snaps. Why do we keep doing this over and over? And usually, again, you think it'd be Raphael, but I really like how it was Leonardo this one, because he just felt so guilty for everything that happened, and he was just obsessed. And y'all know what happens with obsession; it can be your worst enemy. So, GG's for Leo finally trying to get to where he needs to be, and now it's again with this holy crap action coming our way with Sienna the Shredder. Oof.
Yeah, I gotta say, starting with the Ancient One, now with the Scion of the Shredder, and the next episode is like this trilogy of episodes, like where the stakes have never been higher.
Yeah.
Because in Scion of the Shredder, what happens? Karai starts her attack. Karai, with the whole Foot Clan and some new stuff like this giant foot mechs and so on and so forth, comes to the Turtles' lair and destroys everything. Really, you cannot say it any other way. She really blows up the Turtles' lair. The Turtles barely escape, or do they? At the end of the episode, we don't really know if they were able to escape because they were hunted. Like they escaped into the sewers, they were split up, and they were hunted by the Foot Clan. And it's more or less this whole episode is one big action scene, but holy shell, it goes on. Like there's so much. Like okay, the turtles have been living in this lair for 4 seasons now, and suddenly it just blows up from one episode to another. It's like everything destroyed, everything changes, and Karai is like, "Hey, I'm the new Shredder." We see her in Shredder armor. I'm the new Shredder here. I'm the leader of the Foot Clan. You took everything from me. Now I'll take everything from you. And yeah, it's crazy. And well, after this episode, nothing is the same.
Yeah, we are all
Amazing.
all just shocked. I'll just let you catch your breath for a second there because we got to go right into the next one. But yeah, just seeing all those explosions, you're like, one down, one down, one down. This can't be how it ends. And it did, but here comes our next episode, like you say, right back at you with Prodigal Son.
Yeah, in this episode, Leonardo comes back from Japan and, well, finds everything destroyed. His family gone, the turtle's lair destroyed, and well, he's now, as we said at the start of the season, he was like this Batman like brooding, and now he's using his Batman detective skills to find the other turtles. Like he follows their tracks. This is like the first half of the episode. He follows the tracks and finds out where the turtles went and how they escaped. And in the end, he finds all of the others. They're all survived, and they find a new home. And in the end, Leonardo goes straight to Karai, and they have a big fight, a great fight scene. And he's like, "Don't ever come near my family again. I will spare you now," because he's able to defeat her, but he's not finishing her. And he's like, "Hey, stay away from my family, or I will come again. This is the last warning." And well, Karai, once again, really angry, but the family is back together again, got a new lair. And yeah, as I said, nothing is the same again. Crazy.
Yeah, just another good Leonardo again. Like I say, I love my boy Mikey, but Leo is really creeping up there to number 2. It used to be for me, it was Mike Raff because red was my favorite color, Don, and then Leo. But Leo's boosting up the rankings here in the Shellonomics Turtle rankings here with just these amazing episodes. And you talked about this earlier. Our good friend, your good friend, check that. Your good friend returns in Outbreak.
I don't think I would call him a friend, but
Yeah.
I respect Agent Bishop.
There you go.
Well, as I said in the episode Aliens Among Us, like this alien goo that got into the sewers, and well, it comes as it must because like this alien mutagen goo like gets into contact with the creatures that's living in the sewers. Is it bugs or rats and stuff like this? And it turns them into monsters, into mutated monsters. And the turtles, once again, they have to stop it. And like they're able to do so far so good, and but they go back to this whole thing because this outbreak goes on for a while. But during all this, Donnie gets cut by one of the creatures, and it gets a little bit sickly from it, which once again comes back to haunt us later. This is like this show has so many layers. Like, okay, at first we got a little fake alien invasion, which turns into a mutant outbreak, which comes back to haunt us again later when Donatello gets hurt, and it just goes on and on. It builds one another. This show is so great. I don't know what else to say.
And we still got so much more to cover here on Spotify and YouTube with Shellonomics. This is, I mean, we're kind of maybe at the halfway point because you still have more seasons to go, but just, and now we get to get Donatello a little bit better character. Again, they just share the love too. That's another good thing about this. You know, some of the movies and other adaptations, you can say it feels like it focuses on one turtle, but here everybody gets the love. Peter Laird just made sure all his children were taken care of. And now we go into the next one with Trouble with Augie.
Yeah, Which brings us back to a storyline that started in season 2, where April was trying to find her missing uncle August O'Neill, who apparently got lost in another dimension. And, well, she is able to find him in another world where some lizard creatures are living and apparently living in peace, and Uncle August is helping them. But it turns out that, well, this lizard people, the Brotherhood, they are not really good. Once again, this is an April and Donnie episode because they are both working together to get there. And the Brotherhood, they are like this race of lizard people who go from dimension to dimension, from planet to planet, and like eat everything and everyone there until nothing's left, and then they go to the next planet, and that's what they want to do with Earth. Fortunately, April and Donnie find out about it and are able to trick them, and they are able to escape together with Uncle August back to Earth. And so this storyline is pretty much over. Uncle August is saved. He's back on Earth again. And this episode, we meet April's sister, Robin, in this version, which is, well, it's her only episode that she appears in, but it's nice to get, like, once again, a little throwback to the comics where she also appeared. So, yeah, she exists in this universe too.
I agree, and thanks for pointing that fun fact out for us. We talked about this in a previous podcast too, just what would be some cool crossovers we've never seen, and more this is feeling more like the X-Men here with Insane in the Membrane.
Oh, it's like this is like the forbidden episode, because I remember this was not shown on TV when the show was first shown on TV. Later they showed it later and it was released on DVD, but they had some real problems with this episode, because in this episode Baxter Stockman clones himself a new body, because if you remember, Baxter was actually only a brain anymore in a robotic body, but he wanted a new human body. And it works at first. He gets a new human body, which is stronger and better than before, but it starts to deteriorate, and he gets crazy from it. He like sees visions of his mother when he was still a young boy, and he really goes insane, and he turns more and more into like a zombie-like creature, like really falling apart. Once again, so many gruesome scenes in this episode where like, whoa, I understand why they didn't want to show this on TV. Like really, like a finger falling off, or like half a face is like almost kicked off. It's crazy. And during all this, Baxter starts thinking that this all just happened because of April. April is the cause of all the problems that happened in his life, because if she wouldn't have stopped him in like season 1, everything would have went better. And so he goes after April, and the turtles are able to save her. But Baxter in the end falls into the river and apparently drowns. And what an episode. This is really crazy episode.
Yeah. I still have to sometimes, right, I wouldn't make sure you have Pepto-Bismol by you for your stomach aches, because this one really gets kind of gross. And it gets crazy with the feels again, too, with that whole mother stuff. It's like, this is something you'd almost see at like a Broadway musical play or something. Like some of these like scenes you can just picture, you know, where he's having these flashbacks and... Oh, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for breaking this down. And you're going to be okay? We still got a couple more. You're going to be all right? We got maybe 6 more.
Yeah.
All right. Now we can breathe a little bit easier. Yes, exactly. Now we get a two-parter here with Return of Savanti.
Yeah. Here we get, like, as the title suggests, Savanti Romero returns, more or less, because he's stuck in dinosaur ages, but he's, calling the turtles once again, this was the same in the Mirage comics when he came back, and he's like, "Haha, I'm causing trouble in the past." And Turtles and Renette go back to the dinosaur ages to stop him. And hey, I'm a big fan of dinosaurs, turtles and dinosaurs. I think I said that when we had the dinosaur episode in the classic cartoon. Dinosaurs, turtles always work, and it's so cool. Like the turtles, like fighting raptors, and this whole thing, and stopping Savante Romero in the end when he tries to create with magic, like stop the extinction of the dinosaurs. And it's just once again a really cool adaptation of a comic book, and I think it's really cool that this is a two-parter because we get some more dino action, and that's always a plus in my book.
I agree, and that's what we were talking about with our Fred Wolf series, right? We didn't really get too many miniseries. It was just always a one-off, and the Planet of the Turtleoids is one of the few in the later seasons that just had extra time, because I want to say there's at least 10 or 20 episodes from the old tune that could have made great two-parters, and it just felt rushed at the end with a quick fight, and they're on their way. Here, like you said, we get to sit here, we get to absorb it, we get to understand it, and we just get so much more passion behind these episodes. Oh, boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're getting down to our final 5 in this season, and we're going to go into the Tale of Master Yoshi.
Yeah, Tale of Master Yoshi, which was actually the 100th episode overall. And it's a special one at that because Leonardo tells the others a story that he heard from the Ancient One about, Hamato Yoshi. And we get a really great background episode, a flashback episode about Hamato Yoshi. I mean, what did we know? We knew that Hamato Yoshi was a guardian for the Utroms, and that he was killed by the Shredder. But now we get the whole story, like he was living together with the Ancient One, and living together with his best friend back then, and also a young girl called Tang Shen. And Hamato Yoshi and his friend fell in love with Tang Shen, and so they became rivals. So this, I always forget the friend's name, but he's pretty much the Oroku Nagi of this universe. And yeah, so as I said, Hamato Yoshi becomes a guardian while his friend becomes a member of the Foot Clan. And we see this whole thing, like when the Shredder tried to find out about the Utroms, how the Utroms escaped from Japan, and Shredder more or less went after them, and even like the confrontation between Hamato Yoshi and his friend, and like Splinter, his Bat Rat. We also we get his origin, and we even get an origin for the name Splinter here, because Hamato Yoshi says, "I want to name this rat Splinter because of everything that happened. Like Tang Shen was killed, his friend was killed, and it's like a splinter under his skin that hurts and always remembers about all the bad things that happened before that he will never forget." So that's great. It was really deep. It's really great. Really, like, how should I put it? An exposition episode. Like, okay, we now get the whole story, and yeah, it was great to see Tang Shen in this version finally. So yeah, once again, great story. Even though the turtles don't really play a part in the story, but we get more background, more world building of this universe, and that's great.
Yeah, and according to episodes, I believe that was episode 100 too, so a fantastic milestone episode too. Just a great, well done. I appreciated seeing Tang Shen as well in that one. So now we're going to get into one that was actually named in the Fred Wolf saga too, I believe, Adventures in Turtle City. But if I had to choose, I like the little kid turtles, but this one is just, this one just really hits. This is madness right here.
Yeah, because as the other turtles go monster hunting, like these bug monsters that were created, Donnie is not feeling well, as I said, because he got hurt earlier. He's really sick, And Casey and April, they go to April's apartment, and Casey and April take care of him. But then it happens. It's like really horror movie feeling there, because it finally happens because of the cut that Donatello got. He finally starts mutating, and he turns into this giant mutant turtle, uh, just like in the 10th season of the classic cartoon, when Leonardo became this big hulking monster. And as I said, it's like horror monster movie. Donatello, mindless monster, goes after Casey, goes after April, but in the end, the turtles are able to capture Donnie. But what will they do now? How can they turn him back into his normal Donnie self? Well, we're gonna find out very soon.
Yes, exactly. After we give you a quick little swig of water if you need it, because we get another. Let's see here. I believe we're down to our last three, and this is another two-parter, as you said earlier before we started recording this. In Good Genes.
Yeah, in Good Genes, the turtles tried, with the help of Leatherhead, by the way, they tried to get Donatello back to his normal self. But as they find out that they don't have the knowledge or the technology to do it, they must turn to Agent Bishop. Like, hey, you have it, you are in Area 51, you have the technology, and you have Baxter Stockman with you, who is once again back after everything that went down. And it's once again, Baxter is such a tragic figure in this whole series, because he
Right.
gets revived, and he's like, oh, why can you not just let me go? And it's like, I feel really sad by now for this guy. And well, the turtles turn to Bishop, and Bishop says, okay, I will help you. But a mysterious entity contacts Bishop and tells him that he will help him if he gets the or destroys the heart of Tengu, which it belongs to Karai. So he goes to the turtles, like, I will help you turn Donatello back to his normal self, but you have to infiltrate the foot building and steal the heart of Tengu from Karai. The turtles do so, and the bishop destroys the heart of Tengu, by accident, or by instruction of this mysterious entity, actually. And Bishop's like, okay, what happened now? Meanwhile, Turtles and Leatherhead are able to return Donatello to his normal self. And we find out at the end that this mysterious entity were actually the Foot Mystics, who were controlled by the Heart of Tengu by Karai. And now that the Heart of Tengu is destroyed, they say, now we are finally free from our master, and now we can do what we want to do. And what does this mean? Yep, we will find out, and it's not good.
No, it is not good at all. And it just again, we get when you were always talking about this with our other shows, just we get nice season endings, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna agree this is a fantastic season ending. Just to be like, oh my god, what can happen next in Ninja Tribunal?
Oh yeah, this is like such a cliffhanger ending, which I hate and laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the turtles at first they get attacked by some mysterious wooden creatures, and they fight them, and then they get contacted by the masters of these creatures, who are the Ninja Tribunal. The Ninja Tribunal are four people who wear armor that looks suspiciously like the Shredder's armor. And we also meet four other people that are acolytes to the Ninja Tribunal, like the Turtles and these four other acolytes. They come to the Ninja Tribunal, and they're like, we summoned you here because we think that you are able to help us, because there's a big evil coming, and that evil is the one and only original Shredder. And Todd's like, what? What? And so the turtles, in the end, we see that the turtles, they get to Japan, and that's where the story, it is this episode, the season ends, and I was like, okay, when the next episode? I need more. It's, oh, so good.
Yeah, and they continue to do this time and time again, where it's like, oh wait, I gotta wait months now. Come on, I guess I'll rewatch these for now and get sucked in all over again. So, oh man, is there anything that stood out to you that was? I mean, of course, we're a lot of shock. I guess actually, to put as we bring this podcast episode in for a landing, what shocked you the most in this season? For me, it was just Leonardo's character as a whole, with his dark turn and turning into like Raphael with his anger. That was what shocked me. I'm curious your take on here. What was the most shocking to you?
Yeah, absolutely. This was very unusual. I did not expect to see this after the end of last season. But there are some things just that like really shocked me. Was like, okay, I was still talking about a kids show here, like in Sign of the Shredder, when the turtles' lair got destroyed. This is like. This is like we were back in the at the start of season 8 of the classic cartoon when Channel 6 got destroyed, and always like, so yeah, everything turns out fine in the end. Just suddenly boom, it's like, what? This really happened? Or just the whole episode Insane in the Membrane, like the whole thing with Baxter's body like falling apart, and there's like, oh boy, this is dark and gruesome and I love it. And yeah, there's like so many good. I mean, we only get like two-parters in the season. If you remember, like last season, there were many two-parters,
yes.
three-parters, four-parters. So here we have standalone episodes, but they also flow into each other. Like the story goes on, and like this whole world building is so great. It's, yeah, as I said, it's just a great season overall.
Yep, and it is still, even though we had good episodes in 1, 2, and 3, this is my favorite of the bunch. And again, because it's like, finally, it's like, yeah, Shredder can come back now. We had our fun without talking about him, so let's bring him back. Why not? So, Christian, as always, it's been a blast. Thank you for giving us an A+ effort, as always, with your fun facts, your detail, and your passion for turtles. If people want to deep dive more into episodes like this and others, I know you just even have specific episodes dedicated on your podcast just to one episode. Where can people find you?
Yeah, if you once again want to hear more of me, you can do so on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk, which is my podcast. I have German episodes because I'm actually from Austria, so I normally talk German, but I also have English episodes where I talk about the current comics and also other stuff. So, hey, check it out. Maybe it's for you. Let me know. Or just check out the website TMNTDERTALK.com, where you can find everything, all the socials like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even the Discord server. Hey, join the Discord. Let's talk turtles. I'm always there for it. Yeah, check out TMNT.talk. Maybe it's for you.
It's always nice to stop by your Discord just because it's so clean. There's Discords that have just a barrage of channels, and like ours has at least some organization, but yours is just like, here you go, guys. Cartoon, toys, podcast. It's so simple. Check it out, guys. You will not get lost. It is a very simple, easy Discord. And if you love turtles, where else would you rather be? Christian, as always, my friend, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you real soon, pal.
Yeah, will do. It's always a pleasure. Thanks again. Until next time.